at the moment.
Thomas trying to guide that to the front. Adrian Rebello remains a defenseman for the Bulldogs. Played the last 2 games back there. Thomas to the front. Guided aside by Flores on the Lavoie tip. Rebello holds it on the left. Plays it for the tip. Xhekaj got it high into the air. Bounced into the crease, and Artem Frolov helped that one on wide. That's what that was about.
And Lavoie, he and Sobolev both came to Brantford from Niagara at the trade deadline in separate deals, so maybe Lavoie took the last slice of pizza or something at one point. He, Michael Podoluk, and Andrew Weiss took the scratches on the Niagara side. Here's the opportunity just a moment ago for the Bulldogs. And you see that little lift there of the stick by Lavoie to leave it for Xhekaj.
Wonder if Xhekaj called to him there? Or?
Yanov's already on his feet, and Lavoie's a little more patient, knowing there's 30-some seconds left in the penalty.
Xhekaj over for Roberts, came off his stick. Van Netten's away, off the right side. Save made by David Iglov.
Much needed save there by Iglov.
The defenseman Van Netten found himself on a breakaway. Speaking of someone who's played that position, that's not something you regularly find. Xhekaj trying to work away from the back check of Mason Ray. Xhekaj ducks into the right wing corner, playing it around the end wall. Roberts steps down. Mason Ray stepped onto the dead stick. Up for Zachary Lavoie, right wing side. Lavoie's drive. Flashed that one just short-handed goal. Van Netten off the
Niagara third in the OHL.
Van Acker on the drop. Xhekaj swivels it to the line. Thomas over to Lavoie. Back to Patrick Thomas. Quick on Xhekaj. Down low O'Brien. He'll wait at the goal line. Spins it across the front. Just deflected away from Van Acker. Van Acker back to Thomas. Over to Xhekaj high on the right. Thomas middle. He'll wait. Down low. Van Acker walks off the goal line. Playing it around the wall. Xhekaj settles. Low on the right for Lavoie. He'll wait. Cut around. Tries to tuck it in behind.
The first game after the trade deadline when they played Ottawa here.
You have to keep reminding me about that weekend, don't you? From the left point. Walks on. Save made by Flores. Thomas tried to kick it to his stick. It wouldn't cooperate. Lavoie holds it on to the front. Again, Flores able to kick it aside. Rebello up into the action. Moore from the line. Tip. Save. Rebound. Battled at. Xhekaj brings it down at the side of the goal. Xhekaj to the right corner. To the top, Lucas Moore. Plays it indirect. Lavoie down low. Swings it to the front for Xhekaj. What a stop! Oh, and Flores.
Not just in this first period, but he's made a number of saves over the course of the year. Really good pass here by Lavoie to find Xhekaj coming in on the backside.
Whoa! Swings in 2 games. Zachary Lavoie over the line for Florian Xhekaj.
And likely for a lot of IceDog fans or fans in that area, a favorite, right? During his career at the Sabres.
Correct. Around the back of the net, Xhekaj carries on.
Who doesn't like hard-nosed defensemen who block shots?
I mean, he really perfected it as an art. Backside, Paris wouldn't land for him. Came off the post. Igorov right on the goal line.
Patrick Thomas sure played that well. Played a game of defense, didn't he, not long ago?
He certainly did. The game in North Bay. Thomas walks on, plays right. Lavoie back across. O'Brien scores. Has helped take Jake O'Brien.
Evening already for Jake O'Brien. Good zone entry here by the Bulldogs. Thomas just drives to the front of the net, occupies those 2 forwards at the top of the box, and it's just a nice little cross seam.
And talent up front. As Crombie. Unless there's a no-brainer on the board.
Right. Yeah, there's certainly some.
Shirk plays on to Xhekaj. Save made there by Flores. Xhekaj, left side. Xhekaj hits the brakes high. Tried to play low. Van Netten followed him all the way. Galyanov. Indirect. Lucas Moore was next. Spins it to Thomas. Ahead for Lavoie. Onto a charging Xhekaj. Left circle. Glove save made.
Certainly not going to tell IceDog fans who are watching tonight what frustration is. As you just said a moment ago, there are some pieces they're building. Cupboard wasn't exactly full of talent when these.
For Matt Turek, if I'm going to move those players, you got to make me move them.
Eastern Conference all season long. It's been fun to watch. I think 6 different teams have had the lead.
As Thomas off the end wall will swing that to the front. Zachary Lavoie spins, fires it just wide. Puck bounced back to the front of the net. And by the way, Norm,
About it, fifth spot in that Western Conference, but Kitchener.
Shanowski has the puck poked away around the back of the net for Xhekaj to open up the power play.
Floor is okay.
O'Brien across the front for Lavoie. He was the deliverer and Pierce 31st of the season. Watch this, Norm. Xhekaj will deliver this on to O'Brien, and then the magic happens.
Yeah, O'Brien just finds that seam in that last night, actually, in their game against the Barrie Colts.
Ray has got a really deceptive release. Oh, Lavoie, a great pass from Thomas out front, and a brilliant shoulder stop from Flores. Sobolev drive, that one clatters off of his stick, and with his hands almost together to snap a shot.
Using the golf grip, maybe. There you see Lavoie again, just good goal scoring.
Captures the puck, over for Xhekaj. Brown from the left to the right for Thomas, saved by Flores.
Great stop again by Flores.
Patrick Thomas off for Owen Protz, puck into his skates.
Guy on a good opportunity.
Xhekaj holds it up for Cole Brown. Brown has a look low. Van Netten will step into the traffic, and he'll lob it out of the zone. Paris working at Sobolev, and Sobolev with just freaky caveman-like strength. Xhekaj swings that along. Brown off the right side. Drop is Xhekaj. Carries low for Brown. Wanted it back across the front, and Thomas went sliding by. Gallianov from the left. Glove down by Iglov, and he'll hang on with 198 pounds. Better than 53% in the face-off circle. He can play on any line, kill penalties, play net front. You're telling me right now there's not a spot in the pros, a team that couldn't use him in their system? Come on. Zada on the drop back.
See some of these players, overage players, have that opportunity to play at the next level. Maybe a good playoff run helps them as well.
Now, I got to think somebody hops on the captain's train. Shinowski off the left. Plays it for Robrick's drive. Shouldered off by David Iglov. Shinowski again. Blocked by Florian Xhekaj. Puck off the boards. Shinowski did a nice job to A-frame over it, but Robrick's drive, he got under it. Xhekaj will turn it and down. Of course, the Leafs and the Bruins almost seem destined once again to meet up in the playoffs.
Yeah, it'll be a little frosty between you and I for a couple of weeks.
And Troy. Back of the net for Moore. Xhekaj tried to swing that into neutral ice. Gallianov to the end wall. Puck through a thicket. Thomas over top of it. Paris stacks it up. Gallianov's there as well. And now Thomas turns it up ahead. Cole Brown works to the outside on the right. Cuts in. Puck stuck on him. Rebello was next on to Lucas Moore. Time and space. Blocked by Frolov, who feels like he stepped into a hornet's nest. Paris look up through neutral ice. Over the Brantford line, just taking the room he's given, and then fired the shot. The drop of a hat.
Well, he's wearing the same colors.
And only 2 numbers off as Testa on his backhand as it tossed away. Something about that number 44 in the Bulldogs as well. Rebello cutting out high. Mackenzie Entwistle, then Nathan Staios.
Right.
Now
That's
Jake O'Brien.
Good legacy.
Florian Xhekaj. I joked with him at the beginning of the season, said it completely in jest. Boy, he picked a number that you really got to live up to. And then a couple weeks ago, I looked at him and said, remember when I said, you did. That's Hasadorian down the right side. Puck out front for Klein, and that one laying it on to Gallianov. Sobolev steps up, and Ray will move that along now for Podrekar. Glove down by Protz in neutral ice. Frolov back into his own zone. Lifts that along, knocked down initially by Thomas, then spun out of the zone by Robrick, and now Brown up the other way, just missed wide.
Brown had that glove side targeted there, but just put it wide.
Florian Xhekaj to the end wall. Has to look up. Xhekaj back to the blue line. Sobolev with space, fires. One was going by. look they've consistently gone with over the last few weeks. As Xhekaj tries to break through the middle, it gets back on for Zach Lavoie. To the top, Thomas. Lavoie left. Xhekaj on the right. Feeds Thomas middle. His drive. Looking for the tip of Van Acker. Hit back glass. Van Acker to the right circle. Xhekaj. Top is Thomas. Back to Xhekaj. He'll wait. Back for Thomas. Deflected by Van Acker wide. Lavoie tried to swing it back out to the front on the offensive zone for the number 1 group. As O'Brien drops off to Xhekaj. Low for Lavoie. Out front.
It was the morning there for prime time here.
Stewart backhands that one wide of the net.
All right, people aren't enjoying this. We'll just move on.
I've never watched so much swimming in my life as I did in that Sydney Olympics, because that's what was on. As Xhekaj hits the brakes on the left side. Xhekaj through the circle. Pulls it to the front. Almost set for Luca Testa.
Now I'm getting them mixed up. I think that was Phelps in Sydney. But anyways.
Testa off the right to the front. What a stop by Flores. Guided back to the right point.
Flores keeps battling, doesn't he?
He certainly pulled back, playing it on to Testa. Was it Phelps in Sydney? Wasn't that Ian Thorpe?
Yeah.
Testa drops onto Xhekaj, and that's kicked aside.
We could Google it, I guess, rather than just make stuff up. Who's a pretty good program in their own right over the years.
Isaac Nurse, Cade Landry, Colton Kammer. All season for UNB.
They didn't give up a goal in 3 games in the national finals.
Yep.
Like, come on.
Jason Wilms was there.
Like 3 shutouts. How ridiculous is that?
Oh,
against the best teams in the country.
Just masterful work from Gardner McDougall and his staff. As Ryan Robrick. Up to Florian Xhekaj on the right side. I guess I have to say nice things about Gardner McDougall now, don't I?
Yeah. Ooh.
Whoa, Xhekaj
at it here.
Xhekaj's tied up as they come through the front of the net, and no, is it Xhekaj's stick or is that Matthew Paris' stick? As they get to the front, and that is Matthew. Back up and ready to go. Tough as nails in between the pipes. Florian Xhekaj sprints to the puck, lays it back to the line. Sobolev down the wall. Brown has it kick off his shin pad. Harris up the boards. Testa trying to spin it back onto neutral ice, and now it's Robrick working the left side, trying to get away from Protz to the end wall. He'll meet Sobolev, and he'll take him shoulder to shoulder. Bryant pushed off the puck by Protz, and onto it is Cole Brown. Brown to the left for Testa. Through the middle is Xhekaj. Xhekaj for Brown's one-timer. Scores! Cole Brown. A pair of assists in this game.
Real good zone entry here by the Bulldogs, and Brown just in that right spot, on and off that stick.
Through the middle is Xhekaj. Xhekaj for...
One of us are fortune tellers. We don't know what the next 2 or 3 years are going to hold. Lots of conversation.
I'm going to want to get into that.
But what I think you and I and Troy have been consistent on is let's just enjoy the moment that's here in front of us.
Absolutely. Whole lot to enjoy that we've been given here in this first season in Brantford, and it has been a lot of fun. As Roberts around the back of the net.
And we have a penalty coming up here.